Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome back to my Medieval Legacy Challenge. We're about to start the Royal Generation, which is the final official generation of the challenge. There is a note in the rules that says you can keep going for as long as you like at this generation. Maybe we will. I don't know. But I wanted to show you guys, I thought we'd go through the rules, but I also wanted to show you the house that Edward is going to be living in. I've poured days into this building over the course of this save. I think I originally downloaded this castle in second generation from the gallery. Somebody had made it as a haunted house, like a Spooky Day style kind of modern, goofy haunted house, if that makes sense. And I originally made it over when I had a lot less packs, a lot less custom content, and then I've been tinkering with it and adding to it and changing it, and I've given it a floor plan change, a bit of a floor plan change when I moved Edward in, because there were some things that worked fine for a place to visit, but didn't work in terms of the logic of the house for when we live there. I will get to that, but first thing I thought we would do is go through the rules. Okay, so congratulations! You have made it to the final generation. I'm pretty proud of this. It says move the heir into an empty lot and give them 250,000 simoleons. I've ignored the house rules the whole way through. You guys know this. The best quality items, worst quality items, guidance, the number of floors. I've actually generally stuck to the number of floors that are permitted, but only by accident. The lot I think is worth quite a bit more than 250,000 simoleons, but that's fine. We've ignored that all along. If you completed the bonus, see below, as your parents' skill made you a great leader whose subjects listen to. Now, we did complete the bonus, max out 2 skills, one being charisma and the other an art skill. That's why I had Gabriel learn piano. Now, even though he's a teen, I'm actually going to start the tax collection and everything, even though he's not the king yet. I'm going to use Edward's friendships to base the tax on, rather than worrying about it with the current king, and then switching across to Edward. This isn't how I did it with previous generations where I started them as a teen. We're going to just do that for this generation. Hopefully you guys don't mind. It's partly because I don't want to mess around with socializing with the king a bunch, because that's not why we're here. So Sunday is tax collecting day. Every Sunday, total up the number of friends and enemies. Multiply that by 1,000 to give your sim that many simoleons. If you completed the bonus, people are willing to give you more money. Multiply the number of friends and enemies by 2,000 instead. So we will obviously be doing that. It's actually, I think, Friday afternoon in game. In the first session, we will be doing this. So that's good. Have at least 5 kids. Marry before you age 2, adult. He will probably marry as a teen, but late teen. The moment he's 13, he's still too young in my mind. Have parties at your house frequently, but only invite wealthy households. If you want to make me any noble households to add to the save, I have a few noble households, but not a huge number. I think there's 3 main noble families, and obviously we want to socialize with more than that. So feel free. ACP Medieval is the hashtag that I've been using on the gallery if you feel like adding extra families. Buy the best quality items. Like I said, we've ignored that. Have a 3-story house. This is 3 stories above ground, but there is a basement. All members of the family work on their skills. That includes the female members. This is the first generation where the females are not expected to just keep house, which is great. If you want, you can continue the legacy through, follow future generations who will have the firstborn as the heir, and you just keep using the same rules. Well, like I said, with the big happy family aspiration, which is the last thing we have to do, that requires him to be friends with his grandkids. So we're going to be playing for a while, but how long after that point we keep going? For me, it's going to depend on the story. If there's legs in the story to keep going in this save, I will, but I don't think you guys would be interested. If the story was kind of done, I feel like you guys would also probably prefer that I not sort of drag things out for the sake of it, but we'll see. I do love this save. I've put a lot of work into it, so we'll see how that goes. So this is actually the back door of the castle, I believe. They're on the lot. I have got the render distance turned down, so it's going to be tricky to see. But we're on the lot where the castle is in Windenburg, the Von Horn Chalet, Von Horn Estate, whatever it's called. The one that's got the huge grounds. We've got the maze. So the actual lot we can build on is quite small, but all of these grounds belong to the royal family, so it's huge. There's this beautiful little gazebo area over here. There's sculptures. It's just massive. Oh, by the way, I like the CC mailboxes, but I think they're broken, so I just also added a little apartment mailbox just so that I can get my bills. They're $30,000. If you're wondering, it's $30,000 a week for this house. So this is the actual front entrance. We've got mermaid statues and knight statues and all kinds of stuff. Let's go through the door real quick. On this floor, this is kind of the entertaining floor. Now, I am thinking about locking doors when we have parties so that the guests have to stay on this floor. I kind of like that idea. We'll see how it goes. So in here we have like a sitting room, piano, beautiful decor, artworks. These will be, I know there's a vampire there, but generally just ignore that bit because we don't like vampires in this family. There's like little bathrooms and things. There's so many bathrooms in this lot. It's unbelievable. We have a dining room. Now, I'm probably going to use this. This is one of the buffet tables. I'm probably going to use this a lot. We don't actually have a chef, and I'm not having the female Sims of this generation cook because I don't think they would. I don't want them anywhere near the kitchen, to be honest with you, because they'll start fires. So we have another sort of sitting room here, which is where our boy and his uncle currently are hanging. And, you know, there's easels in here and like areas to sit and talk and a chess table and all kinds of stuff. Now, the logic of this place, the ones that have this floor are servant areas. Now, I'm not going to actually lock doors between the areas. I thought about it, but the thing is I want the servants to be able to repair things in the noble area. What I really want is for the nobles not to go into the servant area. We'll see. We'll see. I might be able to come up with a way that I can just lock it for specifically the noble members of the family. This is also one of the access points to the basement. This was originally a swimming pool on the original lot, I'm pretty sure. Originally I replaced it with like a courtyard area. And then when I had a dance event here at one point, that was when I added this glass ceiling. So this is technically actually indoors. And it's like where they can come for dances and things because, you know, we love to dance. So I was going to go to the basement next. So we'll do that. There are a couple of different access points to the basement. This is the servant one. And then this one here is accessed from this sitting room where Edward currently is. So you would go down here and this is the burial chambers for the royal family. Every generation I've gone through in this challenge, I have aged up the royal family along with them. If I look at Gregory's family tree, I'll just show you guys real quick. So Gregory's family tree actually goes back as far as Edward's does in terms of the royal family. So we have his dad, King Arthur. His mum was Queen Arabella, who was a Goth. On the dad's side, we have Queen Emily and King Richard. Then, now Emily her dad was a knight and her mother was a lady in waiting. And those two got married and had Emily. It was quite controversial that Richard married Emily because he should have been marrying for the good of the realm. He married someone he'd kind of grown up with in the household. And, I mean, I guess he married for love. Great. But yeah. So then on this side of the family, we've got Grace, who I think was the actual queen, and he was Prince Charles here, was the king, like the prince consort to the queen. And this was our original king, King Harold, and his wife, Queen Mary. And on this side, this will be the Goth family tree. So there you go. That's how those two tie together. So all of the royals are in here. And there are actually stories in the way I've laid this out, like the relationships. So for example, Queen Grace was the queen, this was the prince consort, so he doesn't get center stage. He's in there with his wife, but he's kind of off to the side. Here we have King Harold and Queen Mary, and you can kind of get a sense of a certain, you know, maybe that relationship wasn't great. Then, you know, here we've got, this is Richard and Emily. This was Princess Coral. So this is Aimee's older sister who died when she was a teen. I didn't actually release her ghost. I think it's just aged out. You know how they eventually will fade, which is a shame because I liked the idea that Princess Coral was walking the halls. And then here we have Lady Isabella. It's not that she was in trouble or anything. She's the one that married the knight and her daughter became a queen. It's more that she was a handmaiden. All of the knights are out here. Some of them you might recognize the names of. And I had planned and will probably continue to replace these extra ones with actual urns of knights as they die. So Leon's over here. He's in the naughty corner. He was an OG, I think, first gen knight. Then we've got Edison, who should be in the naughty corner. He was the one that kept hitting on our Rose in second gen, but he's here too. We've got Reginald, whose wife was the handmaiden over in the other room. And then Sir Stuart Hart was another noble or another knight. And then this is Arthur and Arabella, who were the parents to our current king. So that's all of that. I have also tacked on a nectar making facility. I don't know who I'm going to get to do this. It might actually be a member of the royal family, but I like the idea of them having nectar, not to sell, although I guess we could in an emergency, more to gift to noble families and to drink. I like the idea of these guys having a wine cellar, so I've added that on, but it's probably going to have to be the king who's actually going to have to learn nectar making, and maybe Edward or one of Edward's kids down the road. I'm not sure. So that's that floor. We've been through this floor. Next floor up. So this is a servant's room. I put the cupcake machine in when I originally did the makeover. I've kept it there. I don't know why. I guess we can have cupcakes. It's fine. We have a little servant's bathroom. Nowhere near as nice as any other bathroom in this building. There's a training room, which I do imagine the king and the prince will access, but it's primarily intended for the knights to train. This is the current version of the servants' quarters. I originally had 4 beds in here, or 3, and I just had it divided with these dividers, but this is the maid's bed, and this is technically Sir Byron. I'm using the Little Miss Sam live-in servants mod, so technically he's a gardener, but he's our knight. He's our main knight. He's the paladin of the realm, and he's got this room. And I did think it was appropriate that they be in the same room because we have a man and a woman. So I've separated them and given them a bit more privacy. And then there's a little play table thing there, like a card table. I was imagining like a squadron of knights. So this is kind of the servants level of this. This is actually Edward's room. And yes, the servants do have direct access, but the thing is, if he rings his little bell, one of them would come and tend to him, even if he's in his room. So that's the logic. This at different times has been like crown princesses' rooms and things, but no, this isn't Edward's room. This is actually a guest room at the moment. I'm actually thinking I'm going to have Desiree move in at some point, and this could be her room. We'll see how we go. This is Edward's room. I was getting confused. We have another bathroom, much nicer than the first. We have a kind of communal study area over here. Beautiful. This is Edward's room. I've put up all of his pictures in here. I will personalize this more to him as we go. I've added in the toys and stuff that I said he was bringing with him. Eventually, when he becomes king, he moves to this floor. This is the royal family's floor. So this is the king's bedroom. The colour of the royal family is purple, like I've said before, so very purple. Out here, we have a nursery, currently empty, like toys sitting in bassinets and things not being used. We have a giant kingly bathroom. This is the royal study. And remember how I said I was going to bring flowers from the garden at Henford? I've planted all the flowers out in this little room, and I was, like I said to you, I was imagining this could be the Queen's solar, and Leon, as our live-in gardener, this is his sole responsibility, so that's a pretty sweet gig for him. Over here, we have the throne room, which I have given a bit of a makeover. We've got sort of a waiting area where people can sit. This is one of the paintings Vivienne did that I've brought with us, and it's been moving from house to house since Glimmerbrook days. This is a chapel to the Watcher, because, you know, in medieval times, religion and the crown, I guess I was going to say church and state, but there was no separation of church and state. They were very closely intertwined, and it made sense to me that the royal family would have their own private chapel. So that's what this space is for. Then over here we have another bathroom, and one of the things I've just done, because we need to have at least 5 kids, and we didn't have that many bedrooms. I think there was only 3 or 4 if you count the servants' quarters. So we have the king's room here. I've added in a couple of future children's rooms that we can use for like stayovers in the meantime. And I think, I was also thinking we could convert this study down the track into a kid's room. and then this could potentially be subdivided. The other thing I would look at doing is when Edward gets married and moves to the top floor, this would become the bedroom of the future crown prince. And then this room would also potentially be available, although like I said, I'm thinking about having Desiree move in down the track. So that is my little tour of the castle. I'm really excited to play in this. We've got 2 live-in servants, like I said. Once we have kids, you can have up to 2 live-in servants of each type. So you can have 2 ranch hands, 2 gardeners, 2 maids, and 2 nannies. I could see us having 2 nannies and 2 maids, definitely, especially with that many kids, so that the future queen does not have to spend all of her time changing diapers, basically. So that's it. I hope you guys like it. I am really excited. I've been at this all day, which is why I'm not recording a full part now. I'll probably do it tomorrow morning. I'll probably record it tomorrow morning. But I'm going to edit this one and get it up for you guys. And let me know what you think. The other thing is I was thinking they should get a pet. Like maybe there's a house cat that takes care of mice. Some pampered little thing. Because, I mean, Gregory has been living here. He hasn't been living alone. Poppy and the Knight have actually been living with him. They actually lived here. I've had to move them out to make them function with the live-in servants mod. Oh, I should mention, actually. I don't think I mentioned. Let's talk to you about Poppy real quick. But yes, what I was going to say is that they have been living here a long time, but also because he's unflirty, in my mind, he's asexual and he hasn't had a partner. I thought that maybe giving him like a pampered pet, like a cat or a dog or something, could also be fun. Let me know what you think. But this is Poppy, just real quick. She is actually a descendant of David. So David, if you cast your mind way back to Olivia, she had 5 kids. I think Rose was firstborn daughter, I think. Although she and Isabella were twins, and I can't remember who came first, but she was one of the 2 firstborn daughters. David was our eldest, and he inherited the farm. And his family's been living at the farm for generations. We had Olivia and Zachary. They had David, who married Alana. They had Jonathan, who married Nalani. And then Nalani had 3 kids, I think. And their eldest was Dylan, who inherited the farm. And then they had Clay, who's now inherited the farm. We have Marcus Graham, who actually has become the new head priest of the realm. He's the one that became Jacob's understudy and married Coraline. And their sister is Poppy. And I wanted something for Poppy to do. You know, the farm is like our OG original residence. And I thought this is kind of the branch of the family I've followed the most closely, other than the actual series branch of the family. So I thought, why don't I have Poppy move in? Now, she does have a kid. His name is Fitzroy, but he's not a son of the king despite the name. He's actually a son of Sir Byron, who maybe isn't the honourable knight that he should be. So these two sharing the same bedroom space, not the same bedrooms, but right next door to one another. Things have happened. She's had a baby. The baby, little Fitzroy's a toddler. He actually lives on the farm with his uncle. So, oops, I think the king probably knows about this. It was hard to miss that she was pregnant, but because they're both good servants, he's turned a blind eye to it, basically. It's very scandalous, but this is our Poppy. She's a beautiful thing, and I'm hoping that we will be able to tell a bit of a story for her as well as part of the house. Yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you guys are excited for us to get into this generation. I'm very excited. You can probably tell. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.